morning from Seattle. It is 6:52 Pacific time. We are gonna start our day with Starbucks. So it is really, really early, but we're still on like Eastern time zone. And I kind of have to stay on Eastern time zone because I'm gonna be working from our cruise ship. So I woke up at like 4 o'clock this morning, but I'm ready for some coffee. And unfortunately, or I guess fortunately, I mean, I would like to go to a local coffee shop. I suppose Seattle, or Starbucks is kind of a local coffee shop here in Seattle, but it's the only one that's open this early in the morning on a Sunday. Okay, so we are inside Starbucks now, and this is an order, like a pickup only, so there's no cafe in here. But they have the screen, and so when you place your order, they show when they've got your order, if it's in progress or if it's ready. Alright, coffee is acquired. I'm having a plain blonde roast latte. Mom's having a peppermint latte.
And it's yummy.
Emma's having a vanilla latte. And we are walking toward the 5 Point Cafe for breakfast. We found the 5 Point Cafe. It's supposed to be a 24-hour joint and historically, I suppose, the oldest drinking establishment in this area of Seattle. Breakfast is here. I have the huevos rancheros with chorizo. Mom got the breakfast burrito with chorizo, and Emma got the cheeseburger. We just finished our breakfast at the 5 Point Cafe, and they've got a lot of stuff, you know, kind of signs on the walls. Basically, like right above the door, it says "Be nice or leave." It says we cheat tourists and drunks since 1929. It's really sarcastic. If you're easily offended by lewd artwork, you may not like it, but the food was fantastic and the service was wonderful. So right out here in front of the 5 Point Cafe is the statue of Chief Seattle. The city of Seattle was named for him. We actually learned a little bit about him while we were sitting having breakfast because they had a bunch of articles about this statue in particular hung above the wall, or on the wall above our table. Alright, Emma's done inside, but I wanted to show you from here. We can see the Space Needle, which is really cool. But we're actually going to walk down this way toward a Walgreens because we have discovered we have just a couple of things that we need. We have made it to Seattle Center. There's the Space Needle. And we just met a security guard who's patrolling the lake, what's it called? Is it Como Plaza? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And so there's like a McDonald's right over here. And, you know, he was kind of giving us some safety tips because we have seen some things this morning that maybe make us feel a little unsafe. But it makes me feel better that they're actually patrolling the city, you know?
We're just also hyper vigilant because, well, at least I am, because we're out of our normal elements. So just call out for Tom.
Yeah.
So that was really sweet of him.
The closer you get to Seattle Center, like central area that's touristy, I think the safer you're going to be. So we're going to try not to roam off of the beaten path. Also, we're doing another dog count today. Yesterday, after lunch, we saw 49 dogs. Today, we are at 5 already.
Yeah. Wait, we already saw that one.
No, I'm talking about the big dog over here with this guy in the hood.
Okay.
There's a great, big, pretty black dog.
Baby.
So, MoPOP doesn't open till 10. Not entirely sure what time the the Space Needle opens, but I'm gonna pin these two down and we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do today because we still don't know for sure.
We also saw some ducks.
Yep, saw some ducks.
I was just really excited about that.
Hold on, I'll show you the ducks. If you look there at the base of the tree, there's 2 little ducks right there just hanging out. I think it's date morning for Mom and Dad. We have decided that we are going to do the Seattle CityPass, and we're doing the C3, meaning we get 3 attractions, and we were able to pick 3 from a list of, I think, like 6. So we're gonna do Space Needle this morning. We actually weren't planning on doing the Space Needle, but since we're here.
And it's open.
And
we talked about the pick 3 at home.
We did talk about it
several different times.
Yeah, because they have a pick 3 and a pick 5. The thing about the pick 3 is you get to pick all 3 from the list of vendors, I guess. Yeah. with the pick 5,
They pick some for you.
they give you 2, and then you get to pick the other 3 of the 5. And the list is not exactly the same for both the pick 3 and the pick 5, which is interesting. So this morning, we're gonna do the Seattle CityPass for the Space Needle, and we actually had to make reservations or like reserve our entrance time for the Space Needle.
And it's kind of a nuisance because you can't see what's open until you have the City Pass.
Yeah,
But you don't have to buy the City Pass until you get here.
yeah. Yeah, we just purchased the CityPass just now. I just now made the reservations, and I was able, because I purchased it at like 8:40, and we're able to enter between 8:45 and 9 a.m. for the Space Needle. And we've got a beautiful day to do it, so this is kind of cool. And then this afternoon, we're gonna do the Argosy Harbor Cruise tour. It's like an hour, and we're gonna do the 4 o'clock or the 4:05 cruise
Sailing.
time. Yeah, and we might get to see some of the ships disembark port today. And we also get MoPOP, but we don't need to make reservations for MoPOP. All right, now it's time. We found a really pretty tree. I'm not sure what it is, but it does look like thousands of daisies. There's a bunch of like wall history of the building of the Space Needle, which is really cool. And I kind of think, are we still in line for security here? Technically. At least they're entertaining us. And it's interactive too. The restaurant at the top of the Space Needle is torn by a 1 horsepower motor. Guaranteed not to ripple a martini.
And here we go. There's Chihuly right in front of us. We're going to pass this rental space right over here called the Skyline. You got Pacific Science Center with a white dome in front of you. To your right, you have 2 spiders painted on top of the roof of the Armory. Next to that, you got Climate Pledge Arena, home of the Kraken Storm. You got the Seattle waterfront with the Great Wheel to your far left. You got a building with a globe on top of it. That's the Seattle Post-Intelligence newspaper. You got Elliott Bay, Puget Sound, Alki Beach straight ahead in West Seattle. You got Bainbridge Island right across from us. You got the Olympic Mountain Range in the horizon. You got downtown Seattle to your far left, Queen Anne Hill to your far right. Here we are about to reach the top. Take your time, everybody. There's no time limit. Entrance to the glass floor, down the stairs to your right. You can go outside and enjoy the view.
It was a really quick ride to the top, but we have made it to the top of the Space Needle. And you know, the folks don't lie when they say that you really get spectacular views from up here, because you absolutely do. From here I can see Lumen Field, which is where the Seattle Seahawks play, and I think the baseball field is just on the other side of that. Okay, so we've got the Norwegian Jewel maybe, but it's a Norwegian cruise ship here, and there's a Princess cruise ship at Pier 91 just that way. You know, we really did get a great day, weather day for this. I know there's like raindrops on the glass, but it is not currently raining on us. Oh, and there's Pier 91 over there with the Princess ship that's in port today. No, I can't tell which one it is from here.
Wow, those are the spiders.
And then I think our hotel is just over here.
Oh,
Yeah, they painted some spiders on the roof of this building down here. They're not real. They're painted on. He told us that in the elevator coming up. This really funky looking building down here, or complex of buildings, is MoPOP, or the Museum of Pop Culture. We came back inside, but now we're going to go downstairs to the revolving glass floor. So it's actually 2 flights of stairs to come down. But you can see it is moving. Oh, and here's the glass part.
There's a museum on music film, Pacific Science Center.
I almost think the view from down here is better than it is from up there.
Because the windows are clear.
We made it downstairs to the gift shop and immediately saw a pretty purple sweatshirt. Ooh, it's soft. Emma doesn't like the puppy paint aspect of it.
Really soft.
$44.99 for this. There's lots of other things to choose from too. You might be able to tell we're not inside the Space Needle anymore. Emma got a sweatshirt. I didn't buy anything. I don't think you need admission to the Space Needle to go into the gift shop. So if I decide later I want to come back and get that purple sweatshirt that we saw, I can, and I don't think I need admission to go in and buy the shirt. I wanted to talk a little bit about getting down from the top of the Space Needle because it was confusing.
Well, they're doing some construction.
Yeah, there are a couple of elevators that are being refurbished, but we received conflicting information regarding the elevators to get down. So apparently you can take either the elevator on the rotation deck, like where the glass floor rotates, or you can take the elevator from the top observation deck. But all the signage up there says you have to take the elevator that's on the rotation deck. And then there's like people, employees of the Space Needle walking around like cleaning windows and also telling people you can go upstairs to the elevator upstairs and it's got a shorter line. We just waited in the line downstairs because we were already in it.
Yeah, and it was 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was conflicting information though, so something to think about. So this here is the Seattle Center monorail station. Over here is the Space Needle, of course. And then this is all the Chihuly Garden and Glass Museum. And we're gonna go in and check out the bar and maybe just kind of sit, hang out for a few minutes before we head over to MoPOP. Wave at me. Mom's happy. She and I both got espresso martinis, and Emma has a mocktail on the way. We also learned that the items in each of the tables are things that the Chihuly artist collects. So he must collect fishing lures, and there's an enormous selection of accordions on the ceiling, which is really fascinating.
Go to the bathroom.
What's in the bathroom?
Bottle openers.
Bottle openers.
Thousands.
Wow.
Thousands of bottle openers.
Can you imagine having enough collections that you just have a bar
Yeah.
filled with all of your collections
Yeah.
of random stuff?
And then there's some weird, like, almost creepy masks with a string coming out of their mouth on the way to the bar, or on the way to the bathroom too.
Weird.
Yeah.
And just for a little snack, we've got the sourdough bread with their seasonal butter, which right now is the butternut squash butter. Up next is MoPOP. And we do have a city pass, but fortunately we don't have to have reservations for this. We can just walk up and show up, get in. Getting into MoPOP was really, really easy with our city pass. They just used the city pass ticket itself because we didn't need like a reservation to get in. We're on level 1 right now. We've got the Science Fiction and Fantasy Hall of Fame, classroom space, and the Sound and Vision Theater. And we did learn that they are having sort of like a scavenger hunt because today is Star Wars Day. So they've got a Star Wars scavenger hunt. It's really cool. And did you say there's something happening in the Sky Church later? Here's the schedule for the Sound and Vision Theater. So right now it is 11:57 a.m. Looks like Sound Off 2024 is next at 12:15. We're in the Pop Culture Hall of Fame now. on level 1.
So then started selling some Diana dresses about a year ago. She has the price of it's just been really insane.
They have a lightsaber because you have to. Happy Star Wars Day, everybody. This is Luke's from The Empire Strikes Back. That is so cool. And maybe a little gruesome. I do think it's really fascinating that J.K. Rowling was inducted in 2017 to the Hall of Fame, and the Rocky Horror Picture Show was not inducted until 2023. And Tolkien beat C.S. Lewis by 3 years. And Dungeons and Dragons.
That is not normal. And so it's very easy to experience that emotion, and it creates a high, it creates an elation. And the final reason why we do it is
That's actually it for downstairs. We're gonna head back up to level 2, which is actually where we came in. They do have elevators, but we're taking the stairs. So we actually came in over here, and this is what they call the Sky Church.
Yeah.
Oh, Princess Diana. This is so pretty. I love the colors. I'll come with you. Thanks. Full-scale reproduction of the robot Gort. He's pretty tall, with great big feet. Now boarding the Space Ark. It's the Terminator. This is incredible. Okay, I don't even know where to start. We're gonna go clockwise. We've got Star Trek score playing, and that's awesome. Planet of the Apes. It's another Terminator. USS Enterprise command chair. That looks kind of comfy.
That is really cool. Is that from the original series?
Mm-hmm. 68 and 89.
Borg from Star Trek Next Gen. Oh wow! It's the Death Star model. That's no moon. This is a haven for Star Wars fans. Check this out. Stormtrooper helmet and a TIE fighter filming mini.
You get to make up the character.
This side of the Death Star is even cooler than the other side. So this here is from Galaxy Quest. That's an awesome movie. Oh, and they've got the hoverboard from Back to the Future. Back to more Star Wars stuff. I think this is really cool.
We'll be set to.
Then we're here. That's the Rebel Trooper costume from episode 5 when they're on Hop.
I mean, it's hard not to when you're a moment.
I mean, that's she did to it.
Yeah.
Costume. She's off.
Oh, the jacket is not.
This one's
Terminator. Terminator 1.
yeah. After all of the Arnold Schwarzenegger gets turned off at it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Back at Sky Church. And over here is, of course, the massive guitar gallery. I really like that Seahawks helmet. I don't like the new one. It's too boring. I love the colors of the vintage helmet. And this one's pretty. They've got jerseys over here. Of course, Russell Wilson will forever be in an installation. We are in the gift shop. We're finishing up here at MoPOP, and there's not a whole lot in here in the gift shop that's interesting to me. However, they do have a Barbie Monopoly on the clearance shelf. You recorded Fearless. It was in heaven. She's found all the Taylor Swift vinyls.
Oh my god, they have Moonstone, Jade Green, Blood Moon Red, and they have the Mahogany of Midnights. This is crazy. This is insane.
So it is 1:20 in the afternoon, and we are leaving the Seattle Center, heading back to the hotel just for a little while. We had enough of MoPOP. Mom's not exactly a museum girl. I think Emma could have spent a whole day in there.
Probably.
And Mom had enough, which is totally fine because everybody travels and enjoys different things. I, for one, cannot believe this weather we're having.
Very lucky.
Because, I mean, what I'm looking at is a crystal clear sky. There's a few puffy clouds behind us, but nothing in the sky ahead of us. It's beautiful. And it's not too hot. It's not too cold. There's a slight breeze, but it's not windy. It's perfect weather. Oh no. We made it back to Queen Anne Beer Hall. I guess we'll just have to go in and have a drink. We may have lost track of time a little bit at Queen Anne Beer Hall, but we made it to the Argosy Harbor Cruise tour. And now we are in line to get on the boat. It's a pretty steep ramp down. But it is a ramp. And it looks like a less steep ramp going back up. We are sailing away.
But when you do see stuff swimming out here in the waters, it tends to come up to the surface, takes a big deep breath in, and then dives down again for about half an hour, and you won't see it again. So it is kind of a fleeting chance to see some of those animals out here. So keep your eyes on the water. You might get that chance, but I can't promise you. Now, if you do want a 100% guaranteed chance to see something swimming in water, you're going to want to know what's off our starboard side, just past the Great Wheel. It's that bluish, greenish, grayish building, white window. All right, a few of you. If you haven't, you've probably seen videos of Pike Place Market. You've seen videos of fish flying through the air.
We are sailing past Pier 66,
That is the
which
fish
is where
market,
the Norwegian
street level
Encore
of
was
Pike
docked,
Place
and
Market.
they
But if you
pulled
stop
out
there,
of
you actually
pier the
miss
same time we
80%
did, so
of
we are
the market,
following
because there's
them
5 full floors
out into
to
the
that,
water.
Pike Place Market.
All right, so Dr. Meredith Gray from Grey's Anatomy, her internship house is a real house up there on Queen Anne. You can go see it. You can even take your picture with it, but it is also a private residence, so please don't go knocking on the door.
The entire state is back there called Palisade. Now off our right hand side, of course, you're getting a great look at the Encore making her way out. And behind that, you can see this great strip of land over there. That is Bainbridge Island. Bainbridge is a bedroom community of about 23,000 people. If you're unfamiliar with that term, all it means is the 23,000 people that live on the island usually go to work across the bay in downtown Seattle. Now, ironically, what you're not going to see going out to Bainbridge Island is a bridge. That, of course, is because the water beneath us is way too deep. Between us and Seattle right now, it's on average about 400 feet deep. And between us and Bainbridge right now, on average 600 feet deep. So way too deep to feasibly build a bridge. And as you can see, there's a whole bunch of vessel traffic that keeps coming through here. So floating bridge, also not an option. I say this as nice as I can, all losers. Now what I mean by that is during the summer on the shores of California and northern Mexico, there is a competition to become what's called a beach master. The beach master is the biggest, fattest, strongest, meanest male sea lion out there. So they literally will be on the beach just fighting with each other, beating the tar out of each other, and whatever male sea lion wins that fight is the beach master. That comes with a section of beach all to themselves and mating rights with all the females in that section. These guys are the lovable losers of that fight, so they swim up here to Seattle to eat their feelings in salmon, bulk up a little bit, and hopefully this summer find a girlfriend. However, not likely. Beachmasters tend to be 800 to 1,200 pounds. Each of these guys is probably about 400 to 500 pounds, so they've got a whole bunch of salmon left to eat. He overheated it, it turned into a grease fire. He tried to put out the grease fire with water, which is a bad idea. That spread the fire to the floor where all the wood chips and the turpentine were. That lit up the whole floor, which then made the whole cabinet shop light up with flames. Unfortunately, the cabinet shop was next door to a distillery, which then exploded, spreading the fire to all the wood-built buildings and boardwalks of downtown. The fire hydrants were all tied to our tidal systems out here, and of course it was low tide. And the cherry on top of it all, the fire chief was out of town at a firefighting conference. That resulted in 90% of downtown burning to the ground. But when 90% burned to the ground, exactly 0 people died. And when
Wait for us to go back to the bathroom before we get up and go.
So it's 5:53 now, and we are home. The last 3-4 hours have been a total whirlwind. So we left MoPOP, and we walked from MoPOP. Basically, it was a straight shot back
to the hotel.
our hotel. We didn't come back to the hotel, though. We went to the Queen Anne Beer Hall.
Which is right next door.
That's where we had lunch yesterday, and we liked it so much. We went back today. Busy, busy, busy because of a Formula One race.
Which we know nothing about.
Well, Emma knows a little bit about it, but I know nothing about it. I know they're like little race cars and they go really, really fast.
And turn left.
They have 4 wheels.
And they're one-purpose kinds of cars. I mean, NASCAR technically they're like one-purpose cars. Like they're just made for
Well,
racing.
they're not like cars that people would drive anywhere.
But
They're cool
Formula
looking.
One is
They
like
are
the
really cool looking.
Yeah, Formula One is
But
like
the place was really busy.
It was
and
packed
they
and
set
really
us
loud.
outside.
Well, it was really loud inside, and I wanted to sit outside because we walked inside and I was like, I don't know that I can stay here because it was just too many people, too loud. So we sat outside on their like beer garden patio with 5 dogs
Yeah.
and a bunch of other people, and it was quieter. They had a screen outside.
There's just big picnic tables inside and out, and they
Yeah.
just cram you in there anywhere.
It's like a German beer hall
Yeah.
style with big long communal tables, which I thought was really cool.
Great big steins of beer.
And a great beer menu, great food menu. So we had kind of planned on getting like little snacky stuff. Mom and I each got a beer, and we got the cheese curds again because we got those yesterday and loved them so much.
Good.
And then after we had already received the cheese curds, our server came out and he was like serving everybody outside, and he told us all kitchen's backed up. So if you want anything, it's going to take a little while. So we ended up asking for a cheeseburger, their smash burger, and we asked for it to be like boxed up to go because we didn't think we were going to be able to eat it there, especially if it's going to be slow coming out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
We ended up making friends with the couple of gals sitting at the table next to us, and they told us a bunch of stuff about Seattle because they live here, and what they do for a living, what it's like to live here and work here, and
Places to eat, places to get coffee.
yeah, I mean they were so nice. And
Formula One racing.
yeah, they were really into the racing, and I just thought it was really fun to kind of get a local perspective. And anyway, when we left, we came back to the hotel and kind of freshened up just a little bit, and very quickly I realized, oh no,
We need
need to leave right now so we can make it to the harbor, or to Pier 55 for the harbor cruise. We took an Uber because it was like kind of far.
It's a mile and a half, mile and 3/4.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
we
a
were in a
hike.
hurry.
Yeah, well, and we're in a hurry, but then it's a mile and a half there, mile and 3/4 there, and then back. Mm-hmm. And we've already stomped around town.
Yeah. And so we got there pretty quickly. We got out of the Uber, walked up, they scanned our CityPass tickets, and then we got in queue. And there were a couple of other groups behind us, but we were toward the end of the line, and we immediately started to board the little ship. And that was wonderful. I would absolutely do that harbor cruise again.
I would go tomorrow.
So would I.
That was great. I really liked it.
Yeah.
And the guy, I think his name was Nate.
Nate.
And he knew so much history about Seattle. He knew about the harbor. He knew about the ships. He knew about the dry dock. He knew how things went, how it goes. Ships that are named after things. He had statistics about those big containers. Just a lot of really cool information.
It was wonderful because, like, you kind of make a great big loop. We followed the Norwegian Encore out of port, you know, and that was really cool.
To watch
So we made a
them
great
sail.
big loop, and then we went back, you know, and it did take almost exactly an hour.
Yeah.
And they've got that loading and unloading down to a science because you load on one direction and then everybody gets off down a different staircase.
Off a different side.
It was because there were people getting on as we were getting off.
Yep.
It was really cool. And, you know, you got to see the Seattle skyline, and he gave you details and history about Seattle, like the establishment and settlement of Seattle. It was really, really cool.
The big fire of Seattle, why some of those buildings are built out of brick. I mean,
Yeah.
it was really a lot of information in an hour.
Yeah. And he stopped talking for maybe 10 minutes, but he narrated the entire cruise. So then we took an Uber back to the hotel, and now we're here. And I think we're just going to kind of settle in for the night. It is 5:58 p.m.
Their time.
Seattle time, so Pacific time. So if it's 6 o'clock here, it's 9 o'clock at home.
And they've got to get up.
I have to wake up early tomorrow because I'm working on this vacation. I'm not going to work a full day tomorrow. Emma's going to work a full day tomorrow. But I have to be at work at 8 o'clock Eastern time, which is 5 o'clock Pacific time. So I need to be up early so I can work tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to end today's vlog here. But I had a wonderful day in Seattle. We could not have asked for more perfect weather
Blue
or
skies.
a better experience.
It was cool, but the sun was warm. The sky was blue. Every now and then there was a few clouds. If the breeze kicked up, it was chilly. But my goodness, what beautiful weather. We
And
are
nice
so
people.
fortunate.
And then the CityPass, especially the pick 3 that we did,
Yeah.
was perfect for today. I just really loved today. Today was a wonderful experience.
Yeah. I would do that again.
I would do today all over again. It was great. Maybe with more coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Today was weird because it was Sunday, and so a lot of the coffee shops near our hotel were closed, or they didn't open until later, and
9
we're
or
still
10.
on the Eastern time zone. I woke up at 3:30 this morning, just naturally without an alarm, and I was like, all right, where's the coffee? And I was trying to find a coffee shop that was open, and there wasn't one. I'm like, well, I guess I'll just have to wait. Yeah, maybe we'll do more coffee tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow will be Monday.
Yeah. Mom and I have plans tomorrow because Emma's going to work a full day. I'm not. So Mom and I are going to kind of go out and explore a little bit tomorrow. So we'll see what kind of trouble we can get into tomorrow. But that'll be a different video. Thanks for hanging out with us today. You guys will see us in another video really soon. Bye.
Bye.